wait, I'm saying we. I almost called you something. But we, as in the three piece, the legs, the thighs, and the what you
got thighs, huh?
Yeah, I just give me something wax. So I
your
guess
breast. Your breast, because you got the white meat.
Breasts or wing. Thanks, guys. That was great.
Anytime, buddy.
How do I agree to this shit?
I'm a thigh for sure. What did I say you were?
Yeah, I'm the wing or something. I don't care. Everybody love the wings. Yeah, I'm the wing.
Okay, he'll be the wing. You be the breast.
So I can be a drumstick then. Oh, y'all were okay with this?
Well, do I want to be? I want to be a drumstick. You can be a thigh.
No, you gotta be a thigh.
You definitely gotta be.
This is definitely
this
is definitely the post Thanksgiving
It's
episode.
not up for debate.
Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Yeah, how was it? What you do?
Ready to usher fucking relatives at my house.
But what did you do?
We hosted every relative from this country at our home. It was too much. I was ready for everybody to go.
How many people you had in your house?
They're gone. I'm killing them. They still here now. I had not Christmas, on Thanksgiving Day, maybe 25.
25.
Yeah, I was over.
Ooh.
I was so over and I was exhausted. So.
Did you say 25 people?
Yeah. Yeah, when it was over,
that's when you gotta pull out the
around like the end of the second football game, I kinda like dipped off in the corner of my house and fell asleep until 10:30.
Yeah.
When the game was over, I woke up like, oh, they gone, it's over, it's a wrap. I come out, they still in the living room drinking. I'm like, damn, can y'all go home?
72 a spade.
I'm like, go home. No, they didn't play no spades, they just sitting there drinking. It's like Douce, Ciroc, Remy, champagne, everything's on the table, and they just drinking and talking. I'm like, man, y'all can do this on iMessage.
Hey, that's a bunch of people, bro.
Hey, what did you do? Were you in here?
I was in Texas.
Of course.
I was in Texas. I was able to go to my 10-year reunion, 10-year high school reunion.
How was that? Because ours is coming up.
I'm not going.
We're a little scared.
That was
you a little scared. I'm not going.
He is going.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna drag you in.
It's exactly what you. So here's the thing. Here's my thing about 10-year reunions in the day and age we live in, right? The exciting part, I thought, about 10-year reunions was the fact that you could sort of see these people that you hadn't seen in forever. It's like, oh, look at so-and-so, they still fine. Or like, oh, so-and-so is doing well. And, oh, like you just, but now you know
Instagram kind of fucked
doing.
that up, yeah.
Yeah, like social media just kind of kills that part of the experience. So
But
you see people and you're like, oh yeah, okay, you look how you look in pictures, like on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, but they're like 3D. It's just like now they interact with you.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
It was
I don't
fun.
want to feel like let down because I don't necessarily follow everybody, and I like rock with almost everybody in our class.
You follow who matters.
That's the other thing too,
Yeah,
though.
like you're friends with the people you want to be
Exactly,
friends with.
exactly.
And
There's nobody I saw at my reunion that I need to like rekindle with. Like everybody I saw.
But you never.
I don't know, man. You
who
never
else
know
is.
what pops up
Right.
at your high school reunion. But also, there's the idea of like the fact that you have everybody on social media. Do you ever feel like certain people don't live up to the social media presence that they put out? So like they're moving something.
That definitely happens.
Your high school back in Houston. You're fine.
Yeah,
no one's gonna find you
this
out
is all
here. You're the one person who can talk.
I mean, well, I'm looking forward to it because the thing is, at the end of the day, it's networking. Like you said, there are some people who might not be as active on social media or that you don't follow, and then they might be up to some really dope stuff that you all can help each other out.
Portia's always trying to network.
Hey, can I tell you something?
There's no one as successful as you from your high school.
No, we gonna get like. Exactly.
Like you're
not. They're doing something big that can help you out, and you don't know about it.
Sean's sitting right there. Like there's nobody. You're not gonna get there and be like, oh wow, so you're president of BET, huh? Like no, it's not gonna happen. Like you know them, you would be in contact with them already. Like they're not gonna hook you up with a good job or something. There's like one guy.
You never know.
There's like one guy I saw at my high school reunion.
Hold on, real quick. Let me cut in. We had a little technical difficulty for the first couple minutes. The sound is now perfect, and we're back. So for all of our guests,
we ain't talking about nothing but my crazy ass relatives. We
Right.
cool.
So hey, welcome to the 3 Piece Morning Show.
Voice of God.
We're talking. Jamal
AKA
Andrus is
Jake.
talking about his high school reunion.
Yeah, so over the Thanksgiving break, everybody, I was able to go to my 10-year high school reunion in Houston, Texas. And we were sort of discussing how Portia wants to network with the people from her high school.
No, I didn't say I want to network. I said there's a possibility to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, my Facebook account was hacked. So, half of the people that I was friends with, I'm not friends with. So, I haven't seen them in a few years now.
Okay. I mean, look, if you go in there and you manage to find somebody at your high school reunion that you ain't seen on the scene somewhere that can genuinely help you out, cool.
Right.
But
I'll bring it up if Sean comes.
I think
I'm
you
not
know
coming.
everybody at this point.
I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Sean,
Wait,
why
wait.
are you so
was there-
opposed?
I didn't
Right,
like
yeah.
high school.
And I don't know why I don't believe that. I don't know why I don't believe that.
You
We
didn't
were
like
cool in high school. We laughed in the hallways.
Sean's like, he's like one
Where
of those
did
people
you
like
see me
years
outside
later.
of the actual school?
Homecoming.
And that?
Places.
No, you didn't.
Maybe.
No, you didn't.
It's a long time. It's 10 years ago, Sean.
I remember 10 years ago.
No, but
Well-
we had classes together. You had friends. We were you all would laugh.
No.
Wait, Sean.
Yo.
So
I don't believe this.
you were not. So you
My
did not
senior
enjoy
year-
high school. You like weren't popular in high school.
My
You didn't know
senior year-
nobody.
No,
He
that's-
it wasn't fun.
He did. He was in the journalism class.
Don't
with,
let.
what's his name?
Okay,
Mr.
no. Let me break down
Lightbulb.
everything
Yeah.
she's about to tell you.
Okay.
My not liking high school didn't have anything to do with popularity or none of that. I didn't care.
Okay.
Sean had friends.
I didn't care.
Right.
PK's talking about the journalism thing. It was 4 people that wrote on the newspaper. That's not popping. And of them 4
You
people,
were in the journalism
No.
program? Yeah, me, you, and 2 others.
No.
She wasn't in it.
Well, actually, let me tell you something. So you actually came in. Everybody knew who he was because one, you came from Beasley, and it was hella Beasley kids just infiltrated throughout the entire CPS.
Wait, is
Okay.
Beasley a middle school or a high school?
Grammar school.
A grammar school, that's right. Because y'all
Yeah.
do first through 8th.
Yeah, all together.
Got it.
No.
So he came from that entire gang.
No.
Or squad.
Okay,
Gang,
Like,
gang.
yeah, exactly.
Let me break that down
so
again.
King
No,
had a
before-
squad,
before
Morgan
you get
Park
that-
had a squad.
No, before you get
Brooks.
there again, let me break it down again. At Beasley, I was segmented away from the rest of the kids because there was like
okay.
a education
A
for
gifted
people.
and talented program.
Exactly.
a
So I
AP
didn't. So the
program,
people that I
whatever.
came into Beasley with, I only knew like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
I knew. I may have known who they were,
Yeah.
but we didn't have no conversation.
So I had a similar situation, but because I played sports, I knew all the other niggas.
Exactly.
But like,
You like how Jamal said that? But because I played sport,
it's the truth. Like, because all my classes were with like you said, like the sort of gifted and talented kids.
Wait.
They sectioned me off. But
Right.
like I played ball with all the other kids.
Wait,
so I
when you
knew them
said
that
you
way.
knew all
But,
the
like-
niggas, like, did you go to a diverse school? Like, was your high school mainly black
my
kids? or
elementary school was not diverse. My middle school and high school were hella black.
hella black?
Yeah.
But then, like even beyond that,
My middle school more than my high school, but yeah.
like even beyond that, I had. It was just different. Like okay. As a full disclosure thing, my senior year of high school probably was the most depressive year of my life.
Okay.
Really?
I hated all of that
Senior
shit.
year?
And yeah, I hated it all. I hated prom. I hated all that shit.
Yeah.
Who'd you go to prom with?
Redacted. I hated all of that shit. Like, no, that's not it. I'm just not going to say it was her. Like
Hey,
everything.
shout
is,
out to you, baby. Whoever you are.
I'm not going to say it was
Special
her.
young
Like
lady.
everything fall on her.
I'm
you
gonna just
know?
go look at pictures. And
I want to give a shout
She got
out.
a
There
kid?
aren't any.
I want to give a special
she
shout
got a
out to
kid?
Yeah,
Redacted.
there aren't any.
right.
But yeah,
Word
no,
of
I'm
the
just
day.
saying, like, I didn't say her name because I didn't want it to seem like I'm putting it all on her.
Nah, I
you know what
got
I
you.
mean?
Yeah.
But no, it just wasn't. I just didn't fuck with it. Like, when I left, I was happy.
Let me ask you this.
And then I really didn't truly find myself until I got to school, like got to college.
I don't
Like,
know
So
if
let me
I
ask you
believe
this.
I can't
Do
believe
you
it.
not? So this is my thing about it. I enjoyed high school, but I always thought. So let me. I'll do this with a story. There was a guy named Matthew Thibodeau who went to school with us.
was he related
That's
to Tom
a name.
Thibodeau?
No.
That's a
Okay.
name.
Isn't it?
So many syllables.
What's it's a Louisiana name. Like the last letters are like EAUX. So it's like Thibodeau like that. Anyway.
Okay.
So Matthew was a nerdy kid. Matthew was like, 5'8", skinny as hell. He like tried out for several teams, didn't make it, but he was always really good at math, whatever. He shows up to our reunion. He's 6'5" now. Like he walks in with his wife.
Oh, yay.
He's got like 2 kids. He has a amazing engineering gig, and he has on the most expensive thing. Like his outfit is way better than everybody else's, or at least it costs more. Like we're
man.
fully aware of this. And I felt like me and Thibodeau were cool because we were in the same classes and stuff, but like he wasn't in there to talk to nobody.
He was
He
at
ain't
work.
come to like make friends with all these other people. He came in there to stunt on y'all, be like, "Hey, bitches, I made it," and leave.
Right,
Like, and
I
that's
was
what
gonna
he
ask
did.
you.
So
I was
wait,
gonna ask
pause.
was there
Jamal,
a
are you telling me to do
surprise
this?
Yes, that's
No,
what I'm
I'm
telling
not.
you.
No,
That's
why?
exactly what I'm
But
telling
why?
you to
Oh
do.
man, I love stories
Why
like that.
not?
Though.
But why would I? What? I don't. Okay. So
I guess do you not
Okay.
think you'd get some satisfaction out of that?
No.
Really?
No. None.
Okay, wait. So I was gonna ask you if there was like this surprise transformation kind of story with your high school
Yeah.
reunion. So you think he did that just to shit on people?
I think so. I say that
Was he talking to
because
people? Was
there
he mingling?
were-
Was he snobby?
He wasn't snobby. He's a really good guy. He's a really
Yeah.
good dude. But he was definitely like the people he
Flexing.
knew in high school were the people he spoke to there.
Like he
Like-
wasn't like trying to talk
Yeah,
to
like he wasn't like out there like trying to mingle and like rub it in everybody's faces.
Ooh.
But it was very much like, I'm here. Hey y'all, I'm doing damn well for myself. Like,
Was his wife bad?
his wife was bad.
Yeah, she had to be.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why that does nothing for me. Because for two reasons. The first reason it don't do anything for me because the people from high school that I still like kick it with and
Yeah.
mean something to me,
Right.
they can reach me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's
So
like,
why can't we all go kick it together somewhere like we usually do instead of
that
surrounded
shit
by
every day.
strangers? We're surrounded by like, oh, haven't
those
seen
people
you
don't
in
mean
10
anything
years.
to me.
Gotcha.
Neither do the strangers.
Okay then, so why not just go with regular
So what you would like
strangers?
meet up and link with us after? You wouldn't just go.
No.
It's actually a weekend of activities. What all did you all do? Did you all
So
do
that's
picnic?
the thing. I know that most people do like a full weekend. Ours was just one like get together party situation, and then that was it. It was the day after Thanksgiving. It was from like 8 to 12. That was it.
That's a strange. Wait, so they did it over winter break, which makes sense.
It made so much sense.
That
Like
makes sense.
because I wouldn't have. There's
Yeah.
no way I would have traveled to Texas to go to my
Yeah.
high school reunion.
So like ours,
but
is
it
gonna be
I
in
happened
this,
to be in town.
Ours is usually in the summertime because they do like a picnic and all of that. So,
Yeah.
but that actually makes a lot of sense
Yeah,
to
it
do
was
it,
it was
around the
perfect.
holidays
But
or
yeah,
something.
like and that's my second thing. Like I don't care about none of them people. Like
Well, so here's-
I'm
You
saying
don't
this-
have to care about them.
No. I'm talking about to the stunting portion. So let's say that if it was somebody there that I didn't like or I just got treated wrongly by.
Right.
I'm not feeling good about myself to say that I'm going back because your life ain't shit and mine is.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm gonna keep living my life just kicking it
Yeah,
and
okay.
don't give a fuck about.
So
y'all. To your
you're a
point-
good person, is what you're saying.
no, I'm petty as fuck. I just don't.
saying.
I just don't feel like using my petty energy on somebody that didn't matter. For Portia's point about why can't we all kick it together? I'm gonna see y'all every day. Like when I'm gonna go spend money to go to some shit that I don't want to go to kick it with y'all when I get to see y'all later for some wings.
Because it's probably going to be a tweak and something tweaked out's going to happen.
Okay,
and then
well,
instead
shit, I
of
can tell
us
the
having to
story.
explain it to you, you can
That's
just
fine.
be there and be a part of it.
Mary Lisa tell a great story.
So I do agree that like the thing that's silly about high school reunions is that the people you are meant to be cool with,
You still
would.
are.
you're still cool with.
Yeah.
So I get that. So that's why I wouldn't go through a bunch of trouble to go to my high school reunion. But if it was readily available, then I'd
Why
go
not?
ahead and go.
I'm
Why
booked
not?
up.
Obviously, I guess I did go ahead and go. But like that's sort of my stance. But I mean, if you don't want to use your petty energy on this particular crowd, I understand.
I mean, because
It's
I'm gonna
fine.
get there and I'm
I
not gonna
get
talk
it.
to nobody. Like I'm gonna talk to who I talk to anyway. And again,
I'm
this
curious.
ain't-
We're going to talk after this. I want to know names.
No, and again, this is not no knock to anybody. Period.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
Can I ask you a question?
of course.
If you don't mind saying, why was senior year so depressing? If it wasn't sort of the people if it wasn't the people that you went to high school with,
It was a combination of a lot of shit. It was
Really?
like
Didn't you run for homecoming
junior year.
or prom?
No, I didn't do neither. That was senior year.
I mean, but
I won,
homecoming
like,
at one
sophomore
point,
and
I remember
junior year
seeing
or
you on
something.
stage with
Yeah,
your little
sophomore
silky
year.
blazer.
Doug, you was hella popular in
Or
high
vest.
school.
Right, he
No, I
ran.
wasn't.
I remember.
I was like
confused.
average popular. Like I was the kid that everybody knew.
Weren't we
and
all average popular?
No, fuck no. no. I was like
Wait, I
that.
don't mean to laugh, but like, wait,
I
what
was
does
like
that
that. I
mean?
was the average dude. Like everybody knew me. I knew
Right.
everybody. I didn't have problems with nobody.
Right.
Right.
And
So what changed
So-
senior year?
it was just like a personal mental thing. Like
Okay.
like
I got you.
Okay. Oh no, because your cousin had graduated, and you. all
yeah.
kicked
Like
it with
when
the
I
older
came to school,
kids.
like I didn't have no hazing, none of that, cause my my brother was a senior.
They used to
Gotcha.
throw batteries at freshmen.
Yeah, I ain't had none of that shit happen.
That's some Chicago shit. That's
Yeah.
dangerous as hell.
Like,
ain't had
I
none of that
was
shit
like
happen.
the
I wasn't
first
wrong
day,
with
and the juniors, they were like, "Hey, Portia, come here, sit with us." I'm like, "All right, what y'all got?" And they pulled out these packs of batteries. They just started flinging them.
There's so many cheaper things to throw. Batteries cost hella money.
Now
That's
you go to the
dumb
dollar
as
store,
hell.
dog.
Huh?
Now you go to the dollar store.
Yeah, it was a Family Dollar right across the street.
No,
from
but
school.
it was crazy. Like, I mean, it's a long story. We'll get into it afterwards. We got other
That'll
Okay, but
work.
yeah, but
That'll work.
as we transition, I'll just say I will keep you all updated when we get to, is it May or June?
I don't even know when it is.
When Deshaun and I
I left the
embark
group
on
that
our
y'all
journey.
set up.
Very excited about
Y'all,
this.
I
They
didn't
set
set
Jamal.
that
They
up.
set up a whole group.
It's a Facebook group.
They set up a Facebook
No,
group
but I
about it.
will
I've
say
left
this.
this group
Wait,
7
wait, no,
times.
no, I will
And
say
people
this,
keep
though.
inviting me back.
Look, no, I'll say this though. So you know, you said you're not gonna go out
That
your way
shit
to
annoying.
go to a reunion.
Right.
Somebody, I don't know who it was, but somebody recommended on that group chat page that, why don't we, since we graduated the same year that Obama was elected and Obama was here, why don't we have our reunion in Washington D.C.?
That's the stupidest thing.
What? Oh, why would you
Head
even put that into
assery.
the, and I'm late to the group, so I'm maybe 2 months late, but luckily there were other counterparts who shut that down.
Dog, that is the
Like I'm not
stupidest-
gonna,
Once again,
I'm not
y'all
gonna
get
call
why
But
for
see,
and
here's-
travel
This
somewhere
shit.
for.
Here's
high
the
school
thing,
reunion.
though. Here's the thing, though. For a lot of folks, the high school reunion is a big deal. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like for stupid reasons like that. Like, oh,
Like, you just looking for a
I am
reason.
so amped. I'm so amped about this. Like a year in advance, I'm gonna suggest we do it in DC.
No,
That's so
I
ridiculous.
mean, there's some people who have kids.
That's not even a good reason. Like,
not even a good reason. And why wouldn't we do it in Obama's hometown where we
Yeah.
actually went to school?
Yeah, that's actually really silly.
Yeah.
But
we're gonna keep you updated, keep you posted on Deshaun and I's experience
Hey, wait.
at.
So
What?
speaking of high school, so
Oh,
I'm
man.
sure y'all just heard the ding from my iMessage going off on my
Yeah.
MacBook. So, yeah, I just did it. Sorry, Jake. But yeah, never mind. I'm not even gonna tell this story. I gotta tell y'all this one
No,
afterwards.
can't- what?
Long story
Don't say no
short.
names.
Long story short. One of my homies
Mm-hmm.
saw someone we went to high school with who was doing very well for himself in football at a major university on an offensive line and got arrested and did time for child porn. This is more reason why I'm not trying to go back.
hey,
Ooh,
yo,
that
the
got
more and more I hear about y'all high school, maybe you shouldn't go.
No, I'm not
Like,
trying
I'm sort of thinking about this.
bro.
No, it's just our school
Y'all
is at a
throwing
very
batteries at
transitional
freshmen
period.
as child pornography. Like I don't know.
No, remember that football coach? He tried to rob a bank.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
this
we had a
ain't for
football
the
coach.
boys.
It was a red line robbery.
And of course, he didn't get away with it.
Yeah, he
So-
would rob and hop on the red line, right, or something like that. What was
Yeah,
it?
no, they
He
were
got a
going the wrong
nickname
way.
in the press. The red line robber.
No.
It's crazy, like what people do.
I'm like picturing the news. It comes up like breaking news: the red line robber strikes again.
And that nigga was in the locker room.
Oh, man.
We need 3 more suicides.
And then there was that band teacher who was like freaking on a
Oh
girl,
my
a
God.
student. She was getting private lessons from the band
I ain't heard
teacher.
this.
You didn't hear about this?
Yeah, I
So I
told
think
y'all.
this was either before
I was
or
zoning
after we
shit
were
out,
there.
man. I was
But
zoning shit out.
she was getting private lessons, so the mom thought it was cool until they started doing private lessons together.
This sounds like an SVU episode.
Don't it?
It does actually.
It's exactly what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
but basically, just what have we learned from R. Kelly? Do not give your children private lessons with professionals.
Yeah, they don't need private lessons.
Right.
Yeah, you
Like, why
become-
can't I be there?
Not having a parent in the room doesn't make your
Yeah,
kid
it does not change.
It's not gonna
anything.
change their like they might change their focus, but you need like a
Yeah, it
some
might
type-
change their
you be in the
focus in a
other
way you
room
don't
with
want
a
it to be
window.
changed, though. You know.
Does
We're not talking about
change
nothing
anything.
private. But on to the next thing. We had a very big album release this week, and Meek Mill's
Yeah.
album. Meek Mill has had a very impressive press run. This man has
Yeah.
been in New York Times videos, the
Yeah.
CNN. Like Meek is doing.
Well, he was like teed up for that after the the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
like imprisonment thing.
jail
especially
was the
with, like,
best worst thing that ever happened to him again.
The weirdest thing too, I think, is that like Donald Trump now, for some reason, is actually like on his side. Like he's actually doing prison reform and shit, which
I
is
actually
really
did a
weird
story
that Meek
about
Mill
that,
and
yeah.
Donald Trump are like
But Donald
somehow
Trump even
lining
tried,
up.
I remember
Called
Donald
the
Trump
First Step
invited him
Act,
to the.
yeah.
He invited Meek to the White House for like a White House prison reform summit, and Meek was going to go, and then he said he got a call from Hov like, "Don't be his puppet." Like
Yeah.
that's exactly what he's trying to do.
For what it's worth, like I did some like research about the First Step Act, which is the prison reform they're referring to, and it's
Did you not just do something on Newsy about this?
yeah.
I was gonna
like,
say I just watched
literally,
this yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. So it's not.
You can build yourself up, bro.
right.
So
Yes, me.
it's a good bill. Like the Senate version of the bill is a good bill. But it also has people feeling very sort of people are concerned because they kind of feel like Donald Trump is going to use this politically to like reach out to minorities, right? It's like, oh, I managed to get this big reform passed or whatever, and it's not really his thing. Like, it's technically Jared Kushner's bill, and he's the one that's sort of been pushing for it. And then Donald Trump sort of got on at the tail end. But all of that said, it will help a significant number of people if it was to get passed. There are things like making sure that inmates are within 500 miles of their family, making sure pregnant women aren't shackled in prison.
That was the one that I heard when you said it on the news report that like really caught me because I was like, we're shackling pregnant women in prison still?
There are several prisons.
Why are they shackling people, period?
Exactly. There are several prisons in the state system and the federal system that will shackle women during childbirth so that they won't escape. Which is the most ridiculous thing.
Do you think I'm worried about walking with a baby?
Exactly.
That would be wild. That would be bold as hell.
It's like, so after I eject a baby, I'm gonna go like Liam Neeson on everybody in this hospital?
To be completely real with you, like maybe like they honestly should just like that should be the opposite. Like if you're capable of having a baby and then getting up and running out of the prison, like get it.
More
like,
power.
Yeah,
to
you won. Like
I was gonna say you are like
it.
Daredevil.
That's super amazing that you did that.
Yeah, so there are things in the bill that are helpful. It's just a matter of like making sure that this isn't used as a political ploy by the Trump administration to sort of,
Is there anything in the reform that addresses private prisons?
No, it specifically applies to federal prisons. So this is because it's a bill passed by Congress. It can't apply to state prisons. It can only apply to federal prisons.
So I won't.
It also doesn't do anything for all the immigrants who are being arrested and thrown in jail.
So Jamal just got real political.
Yeah.
And we were originally talking about Meek Mill.
Let's see how he transcends.
So we're going to hop back into political in a minute.
We can get back to where we need to be.
Here, we were talking earlier, and Portia hasn't heard the entire album yet. We just let her hear the float that lets Jay-Z know that he's the best nigga to ever do this shit.
Agreed.
But
I'm through with the like best. I'm through with the best rapper discussion. I really am.
Say anything to me about that again.
I'm through with the best rapper discussion. He's the best rapper of all time. Point blank period.
But one thing that I appreciate and just hearing it is that there was a point where he was going off and he knew he was and he stopped and paused.
Yeah.
He's like,
come on,
like,
man.
It's like they didn't edit that out, and I thought that was just
my house
a really
like a
dope
resort,
thing to
my
incorporate.
house bigger than yours. Come on, man.
That was like the laugh.
It's like I've done this. So, like know these things. Like this is all required reading. You're aware of this already. I don't need to go through it.
Before we got on the air, we were talking about the album we were talking about that specific verse for a second, and whether was he actually taking a shot at Kanye or not. Me and Jamal say no. Jamal gave the disclaimer that he's a Hov stan, so if Hov said he didn't, he didn't.
Exactly.
I'm also a Hov stan. But I'm
probably more so than me, honestly.
Yeah, probably so. But I'm a little bit more like I can tell you my Hov telling me some lies, but but I don't think he was lying. And I made the point that I think that within that verse he was actually going at Donald Trump in the second half. So where he starts off, and I'm trying to bring up the Genius so I don't quote him wrong. So where he starts off in the verse and he's killing shit. He's talking about his bills. He's getting everything off about the 3/5 compromise. He slides into
don't Michael
no
and Prince me
don't
and
Michael and Prince me and Ye. They separate you when you got Michael and Prince's DNA. I ain't none of these house niggas you bought. Number one, that's it, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Kanye ain't bought no house niggas. Kanye is the house nigga.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
So I ain't none of these house niggas you bought. My house is like a resort because my shit is better than the White House.
Right.
My house bigger than yours, whether that be in the White House or not.
Right.
My spouse.
Yeah. And we knew where that was headed.
Beyonce is better than near 99% of the damn world.
This is all true.
Yeah. Facts.
My route better, of course. I think that's all Trump.
So here's the thing. Agreed. I think that is aimed at Trump. But if he is referring to Kanye as the house nigga you bought, that's also like that could be taken like badly. Like, I mean, if I'm Kanye, you gotta feel like, oh yeah, my like big brother just called me Uncle Tom.
No,
like,
but the thing is,
that's rough.
it's not even just his big brother calling you. I'm just saying the nation, like your entire black audience is viewing you as that based on that last meeting that he had.
I'm not saying it's untrue.
Why Jay probably told Meek not to go meet with him.
And that's a point. That's a point that's put here in the Genius thing. It says Kanye notably wore the Trump's red MAGA hat, tweeting pictures of himself in it. Jay has made it clear where he stands on Trump's presidency, expressing his disappointment on Trump's shithole comment regarding African countries, and convincing Meek to cancel a White House meeting with Trump.
Yeah.
He's tapping up Trump with that shit.
Yeah.
And Trump can't do shit about it.
Trump
We
ain't
gonna
got
hop
no
into Trump
bars.
about it later. But while we still here, Jamal, how else you feel about this Meek album?
So I haven't listened to the whole thing more than once.
Okay.
I will say I am not. In general, I don't listen to Meek like in my spare time. Meek Mill kind of is one of those artists that I need to be in the mood to hear. That said, I think there are a lot of rappers like that just dropping knowledge is sort of their thing, right? Like dropping knowledge throughout their lyrics. And for a long time, Meek has not been that. But I thought that he had a great balance on this album of having something to say while also not being like Talib Kweli. Like he wasn't trying to like change up his style or be a different rapper. It was just that I have something to say now. I have a story. It's not
And his
just
story is
like,
beautiful.
Yeah, it's not just sort of like I'm stunting on you niggas. Like it's not just that. It's like I have something that I need to say. Like there's a part I think in this song where it's like I almost hated my people because somebody black
Because a
put
black
me,
woman put me
black
in
woman
jail.
put me in jail. Like being able to sort of I think that's the pinnacle of rap. Being able to do both. Being able to like have something to say and not be boring, not be labeled as a conscious rapper. Like being able to sort of jump back and forth between those two worlds, I think is sort of the pinnacle of rap, which is what Jay-Z has been able to accomplish in others.
Something else I found out, something else that I liked about Meek that I think that you really just hit on. He has this new story, which is like, for lack of a better word, political Meek.
Second
But
chance.
you also get Street Hope Meek.
Yeah.
You also get I Was in the Trenches Meek.
Right.
You also get This Record's for the Women Meek.
Right.
You get This Record is for the niggas that's on the corner Meek. You
Right.
get This is for the club Meek.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is he can span across all those records and none of them sound like an outlier.
Exactly. It doesn't sound forced.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he didn't have the ability to do that. Like I think a lot of people when they try to get into that world, they sort of fumble. They sort of like trip over themselves a few times, like just when they first get started. And I don't think Meek has done that. Like it seems like there's been a pretty seamless transition, like from one to the other.
It's just authentic.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah. And that I really appreciate.
Off
'Cause
of your first listen, does it
hard
crack
for people
your
to do.
5 favorite albums this year?
2018 was kind of loaded, man. Give me a second.
Because I can tell you right now that it's sprung up into my top 3.
So, wow, top 3?
Yeah.
Now, are we just talking about rap albums?
I'm just
or
talking rap
albums?
albums.
Well, and actually, so Meek dropped his album when?
Friday. Thursday,
Okay, so
Friday.
a few days before that, Trey Songz. So I feel bad if you haven't listened to Meek's album, then we're on the same boat. Okay, so definitely go check it out. But Trey Songz actually dropped a dual album. I'm saying this
It was
for the
boo-boo.
ladies. A double album, 11/28 on his birthday, which was 11/28, November 28th. So I listened to both, like just.
Still listen to Trey Songz.
Man,
I'm not gonna lie.
Wait a second.
wait.
No.
Let's not do that.
No.
Let's not do that.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
I still listen
Trey?
to Trey Songz.
I like Trey. I
I
used to
not-
love
With that
Trey
said,
Songz. What?
of the 11 and the 28, 11 was decent. I didn't
like 28.
Nobody listened to 28.
28
That shit was horrible.
Because I feel like 11 was more of the classic Troy, where you're like he's serenading you and like hitting all the oohs and the ahs.
Which one of y'all?
Not like that, but like that.
But Jamal,
and
I ain't gonna lie. It is almost over for that nigga.
man.
yeah, no, it is. But that was
It's
11.
almost over
11, you
for
got
him.
the R&B, you got the love, you got the arousing sexual Troy.
It's
right?
almost over.
But 28.
28 was horrible.
He tried. I think that he was trying too hard to create something relevant in today's music,
Yeah.
like for the genre.
So,
And
you
it
remember when I
just wasn't
mentioned?
hitting.
Remember when I mentioned like having something to say?
Mhm.
Trey Songz is the like perfect example of someone who's been in the music business for
Too long.
years and has never had something to say.
Yes, he
Never.
did.
Yeah, he's
I
definitely
ain't gonna lie.
had some
I
issues.
ain't gonna lie though. Hold
Not
on.
issues, but
Hold on. No. I'm gonna tell you something
topics.
that Trey Songz said that I really rocked with.
And
The-
he just made a Jill Scott song based on her in the mic. Did you
Of
hear
course
that?
he
That-
did.
But that was hot. Like that
Because
song
he's
is
just-
actually
'cause
really
he's
dope.
chasing headlines.
No,
like,
but
it's
that
like,
song is
please, I need like
actually
somebody
dope.
to retweet my music. Like,
That song is actually dope though.
I mean, look,
But 28, 9, 11, give it a
He
try.
made a song
see
about
what
taking
you
somebody's
think.
chick that I rocked with hard, but you know.
Mr. Steel Girl. That's
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it. That was
Wait,
fire.
I was just telling my somebody a story. So I have a friend, right? So in college,
Here we go back
he
to
told
high
me a
school.
story how he took his girlfriend to a Trey Songz concert, right?
right,
And he said, well, I got front row tickets. We sit
That
in
was
the
his
front
first
row.
mistake right there.
right.
Sitting in the front row. He said Trey came out like, man, hey, so who trying to come backstage? His girl got picked.
That's when me and my girl
To
break
go.
up.
He said, man,
You
I
better
said,
find a ride
no, and this
home.
was at the
me and
beginning
my
of the
girl break up.
concert. This was the beginning of the concert. So he said, I sat in that concert the entire time by myself in the front row of Trey Songz, and she was backstage.
Okay, look, I'm gonna keep it real honest right now.
Man.
If I'm,
What? I would have left that show, gone home.
I keep it real honest
no,
right
but he
now.
liked Trey too. I mean, Trey was popping. Think about it.
Fuck Trey Songs. He just
Like
took my girl
2012
backstage and I'm sitting in front of him.
No, I think there might have been other girls. I don't know.
No, this is how I
But
feel.
the thing is, I think young me, like college me, when I was like, it's Trey Songz.
This is the
like,
problem.
I probably
This
would have
is a
been
problem.
tempted to
Okay, look, this is the
go
problem.
too, but
if
not
you,
now.
if I'm me, and let's say college, I'm me. I save my little college money up to take you to see this dude, who I understands a sex symbol, blah blah blah, whatever. You might get something for him.
Think about Trey.
No.
He's fine,
No. We gonna get to it.
tempting.
I don't care if you sit there and you lust over him, if you scream, if you say you love him, all of that. I get it. That's part of the female fan
That's why you're here.
experience. I get that.
Yeah.
The moment you grab on him or go somewhere with him and leave me,
But she
you
wasn't
aren't
with him.
shit.
She wasn't with him. It was at the beginning of the concert, so he's performing at the concert.
No,
She's watching.
no.
She's
That's
watching
worse.
from
Groupie
backstage.
dicks.
that's worse. If I'm there, if I bring you there as my girl and you leave me to go with the nigga we came to see, I'm leaving you here.
Yeah, you gotta get.
We're
right
over.
home. You gotta get right home.
We're
sweetheart.
over. I
Definitely
don't
not
care
right
who it
home.
is.
Yeah, definitely not right home.
That's I mean,
Because,
I
okay.
understand you all's opinion. I respect that. I
But
truly
how would
understand that.
you, Like, okay, you know, Tiana Taylor brings guys on stage and whatnot. Like,
That's different.
No.
Wait, no. There's a difference.
How
no.
so?
I'm gonna explain. Number one. Let's say if me and you together, right, and we go to see Tiana Taylor, and Tiana Taylor try to ask me on stage, I'm looking to you first, and I'm gonna say, "Yo, is you tripping if I go on stage here with Tiana
Can I
Taylor?"
go?
And if you say yes, I'm gonna look at her like, "Sorry, no, I can't. I came here with her."
right?
If Trey Songz bring you on stage and you ask me and I tell you it's okay, whatever Trey Songz do to you on stage, I ask for the shit. But on stage is public.
Yeah. on
Backstage
stage.
ain't.
Right, and then it's like you go on stage and then you come right back to your seat.
Nah. Nah.
I'm just saying, like
You can get a nut off in 2 minutes.
The thing is, if we
It's like Wayne's World when they go to the back and he's like, my girlfriend's back
oh
there.
my gosh.
He goes, my girlfriend's back there. He's like, buddy, a lot of guys' girlfriends are back there.
No.
A lot of people, girlfriends,
We're getting this from nope.
almost exclusively.
Nope.
Ah man,
All right, well-
man, there's some chicks like that who make it hard for women like me.
Exactly.
Can
All right.
Can I go back to the albums thing really
Sure.
quick? Because
Yeah, go ahead.
you asked me this.
Do you think, man?
It's not in my top 5 quite yet, but I haven't listened to it.
What would you say your 5 are?
My 5 right
If you put
now.
Nipsey in there, we got to fight, bro.
What?
If you put Nipsey in there, we got to fight.
Nah.
That didn't hold up.
That's the
after.
most overrated album of this year.
Yeah, nah,
It's got a couple good songs, but
My 5 right now, I don't know if this. Anyway, my 5 right now is Hive Mind by the Internet.
You
Is my
qualify them as a rap
favorite album
album?
this year, huh?
You qualify this as a rap album?
No.
Are you just doing albums?
I'm just doing
period?
albums.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's my favorite album this year by far. Daytona by Pusha T.
there's gonna be one album on here that's gonna prove if Jamal has officially become a Chicagoan or not.
It's not in there, I'm sure.
All right, well, we
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't
revoke
think
that
it's on
card. We have to take that card.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, I don't know if this is fair. I actually really like Tiana Taylor's album.
Okay.
Some of that is because I'm married. Like, you know, you got to pick stuff that plays for the whole audience.
Yeah, okay. When I get married, she gonna hear Gucci and like it.
Oh,
After a few more listens, like
Sean Woodard, man.
after a few more listens, like Beyonce and Jay's album is in there.
After a few more listens.
Yeah. It took me a minute, but
This is the most
it's in
billboard
there.
ass list. right
Yeah,
now.
I know it's not fair. But
Go ahead, finish
did
it
I
off.
name 4?
Yeah.
That's 4.
Yeah.
Okay, well, give me a second. I gotta go.
If I had
Wait,
to
why
give-
you ain't say the one that you had written at the top?
Cause I don't,
You don't
I don't
wanna-
ever listen to it by
Wait.
myself.
What
You
was
don't
it?
wanna-
I don't listen to it by myself.
Okay.
I was just writing out albums that came out this year.
Oh, okay.
And
I
I
thought
had
you were just
like
trying to hold back.
No. I just was
Okay.
writing out
What
shit
album
that
was it,
came out
Portia?
this
I
year. It
won't
was
set 'em
Cardi
out.
B.
Oh, okay.
I was just writing out shit that came out this year so I could try to get it
I got
together.
you.
But then I was kind of like, I don't listen to that
Personally,
by myself. It shouldn't be on there.
I still haven't heard his album better than Saba's album this year.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Saba's on my list.
And that's how I know.
That's my
Jamal
number
isn't
one.
Really from here. 'Cause
Yeah, Saba's my number one.
No.
My number 2 is Daytona.
I thought you said
Really? Number 2?
Number 3 is Meek right now. And then, and then number 4 for me would probably be the Carters. Number 5 would probably be Astro World. But I
Can
feel
I
like
say
I'm forgetting
Astroworld?
something.
Astroworld did come out this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot that dropped this year.
A lot came out.
I'm
this
sorry.
year.
Yeah, but I feel like
Astroworld.
I only
Astroworld is my
like-
favorite rap album this year.
Like Mac
Really?
Miller, Swimming for me is
I
probably
love that
top
too.
2.
Yeah, I love
That's
that too.
top
I like the one before that one.
Saba,
personally,
Mac
but-
Miller, Joey Pert put out Quarter.
Astroworld
Things,
is
pretty
definitely
good.
my favorite album this year.
No Name dropped. That
The
was
Internet's
really
my
good.
favorite album. Astroworld's my favorite rap album.
What other rap albums that I like this year? Like, then you got to look at stuff like the Cole album was
Sorry, guys, I'm
fire.
Hey,
My
we gotta
laptop.
do this.
The Buddy album was fire. We gotta come
We
back
gotta
and
do
this
this.
again.
We
We
gotta
gotta
wrap
wrap
up
up
New
show.
Year's.
Actually,
Yeah.
we
Let's
have
wrap
a,
up
I have
show.
I have a whole plan for our year-end show.
Let's do
Are
that.
we gonna?
We're gonna
tell
do
it
it. We're
over
gonna
here?
bring together all the shows, Mars, the Stay Low guys, the from all the different sides, and we're gonna have a roundtable conversation about the best albums of the year.
You know what I
Let's do that.
picture with that? You know how you
Astroworld
see those
is-
different collages of like all the Cartoon Network characters? That's what I imagine.
It's gonna the way I have it set up in my head right now is to look something like that '70s show when they're sitting around smoking and the camera like pops around each of them. That's how I think it's gonna look.
Oh. So you're gonna be carrying a camera?
No, it's gonna be real revolutionary.
Oh.
We've already given away
like,
too much.
New year, new
Did you
year.
like AP's new album?
AP?
Anderson .Paak?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
hey
No.
guys. So I have
I'm
a,
really disappointed.
He's not good at not making an album to a theme. Like Malibu was a very tight theme. And he
Yeah.
did great.
I'm really
Yeah.
disappointed about
So
it.
the thing is, here's what I've tried to not do with his album.
Compared to Malibu?
Exactly.
I did too.
Because I wanted Malibu number 2. Like I just wanted him to do
Yeah.
that again.
That's what
and that's
everybody
not
wanted.
fair as an artist.
Yeah,
like
I
that's
agree.
not fair as a fan. I shouldn't put him in a box like that. So objectively, it's too long.
Yeah.
There
long
are
is it?
songs on there that I don't
It's like
like.
19
Well, I
to
mean,
20
honestly,
songs.
like
But
that Mac
the
Miller
album
joint he
isn't
had,
bad.
the song he had like as an ode to Mac, like that was kind of weird because it was nice that he did that, but it definitely felt like, oh, Mac Miller died. Let me put the song in here real quick. Well, the album's
Well,
done,
yeah.
and like let me shove it in. Like you could put that as a single. and not have it on
Also,
the
you know
album.
what's
like if
crazy?
you listen to the last album on the last song on the album, this left to right song is god awful.
You know what
And the
else is
song
god
right
awful?
before that is really good. The
Oh,
one
yeah.
with BJ the Chicago
But
Kid.
BJ's been hopping on everybody's albums and making it sound amazing.
He's been doing
Yeah.
that for
Yeah.
8
For
years.
years.
Yeah.
But on the Anderson album, I couldn't say I liked the song until Smile, which is number 7.
You didn't like Tense? I really like Tense.
I mean, yeah, but it was just like
I know that's his like.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's his like.
But then after
single,
that-
but
the song with Dr. Dre. I never want to hear Dr. Dre rap
I
again.
never want to hear Dr. Dre
Wait,
rap
didn't-
ever again.
Tell me I'm wrong. Didn't Anderson
Never.
.Paak have one with like a reggae voice?
Wait,
At
can we
some
like
point-
play one of these songs?
Wasn't he like singing like a reggae voice at some point?
Who? Pat?
Which one?
Mhm.
I don't
Oh,
know.
if you're gonna do one, play
Six Summers is okay. I like Six
my
Summers.
favorite one on there is Brothers Keeper.
Okay, play that.
We'll ride out on it.
Yeah, Brothers
Oh,
Keeper is
okay,
my
don't
favorite.
play it right now.
My
mean,
favorite one is
you
You
probably.
ain't gonna really be able to hear it.
No.
My favorite one is probably Cheers.
I like that too. I mean, like it's that
Really-
section from Brothers
Yeah,
Keeper to
exactly.
Sweet Chick.
Toward the end,
That was really
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Man.
But
See,
then like the
I'm
rest of it
not-
was like, yeah. But
It just felt lazy to put that little like half a twerking song at the end. Like it was
Exactly.
so bad.
I
I
haven't
don't know
even
what it
played
was
it
even
all.
on there
I
for.
don't know. I can't say that I'm an avid Anderson .Paak listener.
Malibu will
I don't
change your life.
know.
Malibu will change. It's
should check
Yes,
it out.
Lord
Malibu
will change your
is
life.
But yeah, Malibu was like just a perfect album.
That
But
was
it's
like-
it's
that's one of
him,
my
like-
favorite
But
albums
the thing
ever.
about it for me was like that was him just like writing about one thing. Like it was him writing about where he's from, where
Yeah.
he grew up. So he was pulling all these great like little storytelling things and all these little things that happened to him when he grew up in Malibu.
It's
But now like on this album, it's just like what the fuck is Oxnard?
it's
That's a
not
town?
about anything.
It's a town.
Yeah,
It's a
so it's
town.
like but to name it another city, like it kind of implies that you're gonna do a similar thing with the theme and stuff, and then to not do, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think it was great.
It was
but-
a get caught up album.
Well, can I just explain a thought process to you guys, and then it's
Please.
gonna lead to this next topic, and I'm curious about you all's.
oh god,
Segue.
Yeah, I'm just curious about your take on it.
Uh-oh.
So, if we jump back to the line that Jay-Z had on, what is it, the free song?
Oh,
What's
what's free?
What's free? and how Jay tweeted a tweet to try to justify him not coming straight at Kanye. And then Kanye replied saying, Thrones 2. So then I'm wondering, one, that's not my question, but like, would you want to see that album?
No.
Like, would you want to hear that? And I don't think it would happen because I feel like there's a line that's been drawn, one. Yeah. But I say that to say that made me think of, man, well, what's up with this Ye and Chance project that's supposed to be happening? Either. Right. Yeah. So I'm wondering because a lot has changed when Kanye touched back down. It's like, man, him and Chance are making an album. Man. Yes, everybody was here for it, right? And then he went to the White House and did that crazy cool stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Kanye.
And so now it's kind of like, do you still expect?
I like how easy it's gotten to like put people into boxes these days. Like when I have to reference like a whole bunch of Caucasians that I don't fuck with, I just get to call them the Tiki Torch Whites. Thanks to Dave Chappelle.
Tiki Torch Whites. I know, but it's sad that you can't get boxed off like that because it really is like it's not even a thin line anymore. It's very thick. Either on this side or that side.
The Tiki Torches and the collared shirts and the hair gel and went out there. You know.
But I'm just saying, do you all think it would benefit Chance or do him a disservice to still put out that collaboration?
It's really it's really hard to sort of like to predict Kanye because so Kanye had this summer where he put out all of this music, right? He put out his own album, Tiana Taylor, Pusha T, Kid Cudi, like
someone else on there, but yeah.
He put out all this music, right? I really like Tiana Taylor's album. And Daytona is a classic. So maybe he does this thing with Chance, and it's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a possibility. He does still have that. Like, that is a thing that he is still a talented person. But I do not want a Throne 2 because Watch the Throne is perhaps like
classic.
It's definitely one of my favorite albums ever. Not the best albums ever. Like, I don't know if it's in that conversation,
but it's a staple in our generation.
Exactly. And to just, I don't believe in just throwing like the name on something and it's not gonna be of that quality. Like,
I'm saying from a branding standpoint, I'm saying a branding standpoint. Do you think that because of the limelight or the negative views on Kanye right now, do you think that if this collab album with him and Chance drops, will that benefit or bring negative light then to Chance as well?
Oh, I think.
And would it make sense?
No, it doesn't matter. I think Chance stands on his own. He's got Grammys. He's got his own name. He's got his own kid, his own foundation, his own like a million other things. But I think Kanye missed his chance. That's a weird way to phrase it. Kanye missed his opportunity to work with Chance at a time that would have made sense for him.
Right.
I think like when Kanye doubled down on the Kardashians like 2 years ago, like really doubled down on it and was like really on the TV show and had the second kid and everything. What, third kid now? Second kid?
Yeah.
Third kid?
Third
kid. Yeah. So now, this is like when he only had one kid and stuff like that. Like, I felt like that's when he should have come to Chicago. Like, you could see all this on the verge of it then.
And he named the kid Chicago.
Well, I remember writing a story about it like 3 years ago, like saying like the only person who could bring Kanye back to like soulful Kanye we love is Chance. And he kind of did on, The Life of Pablo with Ultralight Beam. That was like the most soulful song he's made in years. Yeah. So, like, I think at this point it doesn't make a lot of sense, and I think Chance and those guys are the smartest people I've like met in the music industry, and I think they kind of see that maybe too. Yeah, that like it doesn't really benefit Chance to do a Kanye.
I mean, Chance you could see all the potential backlash in the one situation they had not too long ago. Like, Chance was
stepped in, stepped right back out.
Exactly. Yeah, like there was a situation
he was like that
where
Homer meme. He like
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Walking back out the front video.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. Like, I think that everyone knows that Kanye is, along with being unpredictable, he's also a powder keg, man. Like, his image is so toxic right now.
That's true, but you also have to understand, I mean, Chance is 25 years old, 26 maybe at this point, 25. Like, him and all the people, his peers, grew up at 12 years old with Kanye being the biggest star in the world from their own time. You know what I mean? So, like, for them, I think it's a little different. I think for a kid like Chance, I don't think he gives a shit about all that because it's always going to be Kanye for him. Michael Jordan is a terrible human being, but he's always going to be Michael Jordan.
Right.
You know, if you grew up in that time. Right. But I think
But I think his team is smarter than that, though, too.
They would pivot
Because,
to their own thing,
as you
yeah.
mentioned, like, as soon as there was that whole, like, oh, black folks don't have to be Democrats thing, like,
well,
Chance said the smallest of endorsements there.
Chance's dad is also one of the
And, like,
biggest
had to bounce
Democrats
out.
in the city of Chicago.
All
So
he had
it's
to do was say, "My name is Bennett, and I am not there."
and it was
And it
so
would've been
fitting.
I'm like, Chance, shut the fuck up.
Like, the thing is, like,
Sean's like, can I just
just-
be your PR agent just for this?
but
but so it's like we could talk about this, but just not right now.
I just
Right.
yeah, I
Not
just
right
felt
now.
like there's not a lot that Chance will benefit from doing
Agreed.
Yeah.
something with
I
Kanye
agree.
right now.
And I
Kanye,
mean,
wait.
Jay-Z's in the same boat, right? Like, not only do you mess up the Watch the Throne legacy, but you also, like...
I'm actually excited for Watch the Throne right now because I feel like we kind of do need it. The last one came 2011,
Mhm.
so like
But-
that was like right before Obama ran for his second term, and everybody wasn't sure if he was gonna actually win again. You know what I mean? Like it was still kind of weird and dicey, and he was running for it, and that was like that uplifting album. When 2011 was kind of fucked too. Like if you think back to that time, it was like everybody thought Obama wasn't gonna get a second thing. They came in and lit the whole world up, made it exciting. Like I can't say the title of one of the tracks on it, but like that song.
He,
in
he
it-
means niggas in Paris.
there you go. Thank you. But like that song in
You're welcome,
itself,
Jay.
I think like it was like this like black excellence thing. It was this beautiful thing. They're in Paris. They're wearing like beautiful
Dude,
clothes, and it was like
I-
this high, I think that really did a lot to like make the Obamas and this whole new generation like kind of
Yeah.
elevate
There's
themselves.
Up
a-
the echelon.
It,
And so I think it's a time for that again. That's
You
why that was my
can't-
roundabout long fucking answer.
Gotcha. I don't think you can remove Watch the Throne from the time that it came out for sure. I totally agree with that. And I think I feel like somebody wrote about this, but I'd like to believe this is my own like thought. Otis is it's like Otis is like a moment in history, like a moment in music, like the Otis music video and that song, and like just having these two guys that are on the
heard
top
it
of
in
their
so long.
game, like destroy a Maybach and like drive around an empty parking lot in it with like models in the back, like and just talk like the coldest of shit and mean it. Like that video and that song are I cannot overstate the importance of that in my mind as far as like black excellence is concerned.
But the thing is that was at a time where they were so in sync.
Yeah,
Like they were
exactly.
seeing eye to eye just in everything in life. They were they glowed up. They were
Yeah.
in their glow.
Them
and they
going
were
back and
equivalent.
forth,
But
yeah.
right now, if there was a throne too, it'd be the crash of the throne or the
Yeah,
falling of the
yeah,
throne.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, which I'm curious, like it might how it would sound, it would be one album with two completely opposing sides. And misunderstanding.
That's interesting.
I mean, and
You
misunderstanding.
would call it bipolar. It would be two polar opposites. Rapping.
See?
Playoff Kanye's want to use
So,
mental health.
guys, I
That
don't,
could be his next solo album.
I don't want to be the watch on party pooper, but we got like 17 other topics.
We
need
do.
to
We
touch.
do. Wait,
I'm
and while we
pretty sure.
mentioned Chance, shout out to the homie Taylor Bennett. He just had a baby. He just had
Shout
a
out
little
Tyler,
baby.
little Charlie.
Little boy,
Agreed,
Charlie.
agreed.
Making
But
me feel
while
old
we're
as
here, I'm
hell.
trying to find a cool way to segue from this. What were
Where
we
we
talking
going?
about? All right. I got a question for Jamal, Mr. Political, because he wanted to get into that earlier.
Uh-oh.
So we saw this thing over the week about Michael Cohen flipping on Trump.
Oh yeah.
For those who have not kept up with the headline, he literally flipped, told the
Mm-hmm.
government everything. Yo, this man was trying to build a Trump Tower in Moscow. He was gonna give the $50 million penthouse to their president. They in cahoots, they banging, that's they squad.
He admitted that he lied.
Don't put me in jail as long as y'all trying to. That's
And
what
then
he said.
also in Chicago,
The
whose office was it that got
Alderman
raided?
Burke.
Alderman Burks.
Yeah.
They ran up on him because he has ties to Trump's, and also he helped in the
also
Trump Tower here.
Been
Yeah.
corrupt
help
for
get
the
it-
last 40 years. in
Exactly.
Chicago.
Yeah.
And helped him get a tax break here.
But they basically raided the office and kicked everybody out, and then put brown paper bags over the entire
know what this
windows
sounds like
so
to me?
no one can see inside.
This sounds like the feds doing a sweep.
Sounds like he's getting got.
The feds are doing a sweep.
So here's my thing.
Democrats got the House 2 weeks
Because
later.
he was apparently helping Trump with like a $12 million tax break in Chicago.
Hey, look,
Well,
man.
I mean, the thing is, like, Trump never paid for fucking Trump Tower in Chicago.
When the feds come,
it was
they
just
don't
like-
come unless they know what they coming for.
So here's my thing. Here's
Yes,
the
Jamal,
thing.
break it down for us. That are not the most
And I
politically
mean, I don't
inclined.
want to. I only know. I don't know
Right,
much.
make us politically correct.
I don't know much.
Our
But
CNN
I
correspondent.
caution I caution everyone to get too excited about any developments in the Russia investigation because none of these things are illegal. They are improper. They are stains on democracy and our country and all that jazz. But until there is the smoking gun is correspondence between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin or Russian operatives, whatever, saying, I want you to hack this election for me. I will give you XYZ. And I think that there's a little bit of confusion about this this building that was going to be built. You have to remember, though, Donald Trump was a realtor. Like he was in real estate. He built buildings in various countries. So it's hard to say that it's hard to connect those pieces, right? Now, obviously, one could say that like you building this building isn't a coincidence. Them helping you in the election and you building this building isn't a coincidence. But I don't know if that holds up in court is the problem. And
So you don't think there's a taping or anything anywhere that hasn't surfaced yet?
I don't know. That I don't know. But I don't think I don't want people to think this report is the smoking gun necessary to sort of like get him impeached or anything.
But I feel as though it's like if you're like even hood smart, criminal smart, whatever, if you are trying to rig something this big and this large on a global scale, then you are definitely going to have some type of backup in case that shit goes south.
I mean, that I would look, I hope just like the rest of y'all, I just don't, I don't want people to believe that this particular thing is going to be the downfall of Donald Trump. Now, the fact that the House is about to be flipped is a huge deal because the House is the one that can bring an investigation onto Donald Trump about impeachment. Maxine Waters is actually the one who's leading the committee who would be in charge of that.
Sis play no games.
So like, and she don't play. So
not here
like,
for
I mean, he I think he's gonna fill it coming up like in January.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say that like Michael Cohen can be the person that sort of brings down like Donald Trump from his presidency.
Yeah, but outside of the bigotry, outside of the racism, outside of him just being a clown, one thing that I hate more than anything is in this world is yes men. I mean, like I experienced it at yes men. Like I experienced. Okay, yeah. Like I experienced it at my last job, where you're just surrounded by people who just say yes. Like the CEO could have said, "I'm dropping a mixtape on Monday."
Right.
His people would have been like, "Do that."
Yeah.
And I like, no, you can't be surrounded by people like that because then one, they're head asses, and then two, you end up being a jerk because they all allowed it. And I feel like Donald Trump and this entire administration and the Senate before it flipped and all that, or the House.
Yeah.
Everybody was just saying yes out of fear that their brand or their following would drop or what Trump would do.
One of the things about Michael Cohen, and it's funny because like all the people who were sort of on Trump's side in the beginning have left, right? You've got like Jeff Sessions who's gone, Michael Cohen who's literally flipped. Like Donald Trump is beholden to Donald Trump. That's it. So if one of the reasons that Michael Cohen was lying to the FBI is because he thought he'd get a pardon. Donald Trump wasn't issuing no pardons, so you find yourself like, I don't know, struck.
But it's
like,
just the
that's how it
politics.
goes.
This is like Back to the Future Part 2, where what's the name becomes like the ruler of the town. Yeah. What's his name? Bert?
I have no idea what his name is.
Biff.
I do know what you're referring to.
All right, but Jake, you was about to get into something else.
Yeah, my bad, guys.
No, do you
back here in the production side of the show, I came across an interesting news tidbit that I don't know, man. This might really salt our belief in the world right here.
Okay, read the headline.
Very concerned.
The headline is Fox National Geographic investigate Neil deGrasse Tyson following sexual misconduct allegations.
Wow.
Ew.
The Cosmos host has been accused by 2 women of inappropriate touching and 1 woman of sexual assault. Bro, if they take Neil deGrasse Tyson, I'm gonna be so upset.
Well, you ready to be upset, bro?
I know, man.
That sounds like it's a bad headline.
But you know, no, we keep getting
anyone.
Al Franken. Like they took Al Franken, but like Donald Trump's still president and shit.
Well,
The only people
I mean,
really face
wait,
consequences
wait,
of that
what?
shit are usually Democrats or like people that are doing good for the world, which is kind of weird to me.
What organization is he with again?
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, you don't know Neil deGrasse Tyson?
I'm not aware. Sorry.
Ooh, you got to go watch The
He's-
Cosmos. It's amazing.
It's hard to explain. Like he's
He's like the
he's
new Bill Nye the
most
Science
famous.
guy.
Yeah,
so,
like
yeah.
he's the most famous scientist,
Okay.
astrophysicist. I think is his official title.
That was what I was going
This
to
guy.
ask. So did he have anything to do with that study that came out regarding global warming?
No,
That recent study?
I know what you're
Probably.
referring to. But no.
Yeah.
Not directly, but he's the guy who would
Okay.
like go on TV and like.
He's commented
defend
on it several
yeah.
times. Yeah,
Oh,
but he's not.
because-
He's
he
made
doesn't
fun.
have
I
anything
mean, the
to do
thing is,
with
yeah, he is definitely someone who makes fun of the president.
Yeah,
and all
because
that,
Trump
so.
said that was a lie.
Yeah,
That
nah,
entire
he's
study.
that particular study wasn't. He wasn't involved in it, but he's
Yeah.
he's sort of that person that like.
Steve Irwin or something.
Yeah, if you need somebody to comment on some, I don't know,
Something
some
cool.
science news, he's sort of the most famous
Really?
person to do
Okay,
it.
so I
Yeah, he's a
probably
big
have
deal.
seen him doing this thing before.
Yeah, and the thing he has this big show like Cosmos, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just it sort of explains various like astrophysicists, space
It's incredible.
concepts.
It's incredible, and I love it.
What? No, like that's a show I
it's
would
really
love
fun
to
to
watch.
watch. It's really
I
fun
would
to
love
watch.
to watch
Sports
this show.
is right up your alley.
Yeah.
Y'all
I
have
We're having
to
a,
Oh my goodness.
We're having a real relaxed.
But I
show.
should
We
say
are.
though, man, look, Neil deGrasse Tyson is nothing special when it comes to like sexual misconduct allegations.
My fault. I
Like,
didn't mean to say
yeah. Like he is nothing special. Like it took down
More
Matt
so-
Lauer.
Clean it up for Drake.
It took down.
More
it's-
so, I was saying it's just like it's like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Word.
Yeah, exactly.
You?
Yeah, exactly.
Of all
and,
the
and
people?
and that's the thing. I mean, but I refuse to be shocked anymore.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Matt
Well, who was the
Lauer,
one that was, like,
Louis
really-
C.K., like the list of
Who did they get that was like
extraordinarily powerful
super
people.
old and just seemed like way left field?
Oh,
There was someone that went
on
down-
CBS News.
Good Morning America?
No, that guy. You knew that guy was fucking everybody. He looked. He,
Not Matt Lauer though.
No, I
Matt,
know, you're talking about. You're talking about the old guy that.
Harvey
Yeah.
Weinstein?
I'm tweaking on. his
Harvey
name.
Weinstein's not the guy, but
Yeah,
what's
but
this
he was like the
guy's name?
initiator.
This is like Ed. No,
Rose.
huh?
Last name is Rose.
Charlie Rose.
Charlie Rose. Yeah,
Charlie
Charlie
Rose
Rose
is
looked
his
like
name.
that. No, there was another one where it was somebody like. It was like Stephen King. It wasn't not Stephen King. It was like I don't know. I'm tweaking now. It was like I just remember hearing one. It was like I could imagine he was.
See, I was shocked by Matt Lauer. That one.
No, it was
threw
Morgan
me
Morgan
for a
Freeman.
Yeah, when I saw
That's
Morgan
the one that
Freeman
got me. I was like, really, Morgan Freeman in 20.
But then I wasn't surprised either. I was like,
Maybe,
yeah,
yeah.
all right.
It's
I feel
hard.
like you
to
can't
be
put it
surprised
past
at this
anyone
point.
because
No,
we
I know,
don't
that's
know
the crazy
these
thing about
people
this
like
age now.
personally, but
Yeah, you can't
like
trust
the
nobody.
brands and images are.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting
Be really
taken out of
deceiving.
context.
Did
here.
we?
I'm meaning for it to be, but
What's that guy's name? We still haven't heard from Aziz.
Yes, he's back. He
Is he back?
comedy tour.
Really?
Aziz Ansari? Yes, sir. He's
oh
going on
yeah,
a
what? No,
comedy
Aziz Ansari's got a whole TV show on Netflix once a week.
tour. Yeah, and he's going on a comedy tour like across
no,
the
it's-
entire nation.
Hassan Minaj, Aziz Ansari. My
Yeah,
bad.
but his situation.
I was like, wait a minute. Hey, yo, I was gonna let you rock
I was
because
about
I
to
wasn't
say-
sure myself.
I didn't know
Aziz,
that.
No, I
his
think so.
situation was a little
Aziz,
different,
Aziz
right?
was very weird.
Aziz
Drake.
was-
His situation
Drake
was like
just
a
had a
girl
s-
said, like I came over, he something along the lines like,
Yeah, we had that.
like I
discussion.
pulled my pants down and then he wanted to put it in, but I didn't want him to. But it's like, why'd you put your pants down? Kind of thing. Wasn't it
Yeah.
something?
Hey, look, man,
Like
all of
that.
that is
Back
so
and
scary and
forth.
so touchy. I ain't
Yeah.
talk about none of that shit no
Well,
more.
no, it's just interesting,
Yeah.
like with him though, because
So
Drake
scary.
just
He was
settled the
guilty shit, I
lawsuit.
don't know.
Drake settled the lawsuit this week. That
He
was
did.
that was dealing with the exact same similar situation where it was like some woman had accused him of a bunch of stuff, and like having a baby with him or with her and all this, and then didn't have any of the DNA evidence or wouldn't like give him anything.
Yeah, but I just
Before,
think if you're at Drake's level and of course you're having fun, you're sleeping with multiple women, you got to be smart.
If I'm
Like,
Drake,
you
Obviously
need
he's
an
not,
NDA. Maybe you might need an NDA.
Well, I mean,
to
obviously
close
he's
your-
not. I mean, you saw what just happened with old girl.
If I'm
and
a Drake
Saying,
level, I'm
but
getting married.
people who aren't even on Drake's level are getting caught up in
I'm
stuff.
not- I wouldn't
That-
get
that
married.
doesn't
The
even
thing
need to
is,
happen.
I'm coming
If
straight to
you're
Portia.
Drake-
why would you
yo.
get married? Because then half your money's gone if you fuck up.
If you're
No,
Drake,
prenup.
No.
I'm like, yo, I'm like, yo, Portia, look,
All right, Portia,
If-
just remember this.
you
If
my
he ever
nigga,
comes to
I'm
that
your
proposal,
nigga.
you know he's coming with a prenup right now.
right?
Right. in his
I
back
take
pocket.
care of you. I got
Here's
the
the
bag
ring.
right
Here's
now. No,
If you're Drake and you're like casually dating like J Lo and Serena Williams, you can't be messing with IG thoughts too. Like you
Yeah.
can't do both. You cannot do both.
We got to put that on like a
No.
plaque for the show.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like you like casually going out with like these.
No, wait.
You
sorry.
can't do both.
But you know who might mess around and go bankrupt if they don't keep putting out music and keep making money?
Future.
Yes. No, I'm serious. Like Future will mess around and go
Wow.
bankrupt on child support.
It'll be
People
activists
wild for
and
that.
child support.
He's out here
Something
doing
is
these
coming.
girls raw. Like
Something
he's
is
doing
coming
them
for
raw,
Future,
and they're
and I
letting
don't
it
know
happen.
what it's gonna be.
But here's the thing:
Think
he's
about Future. He's
actually
like a
out
really
here-
bad dude. Like
terrible
he's
person.
just like
Yeah, but he's out here effing these girls raw, and they're allowing it. And they're allowing it though.
Of course they're allowing
what
it.
kind of?
Would you? I mean, no.
You
it's
think
not,
he's
I'm not
so?
gonna
If
say
you think
but-
he's doing this, he's like messing with a bunch of clean girls?
No,
not gonna lie
I'm
to
saying
you.
the
Hold on.
girls that are letting
Like,
it go raw
what?
are also
That is
like, all right, I'm
baffling.
gonna have this
I'm
baby.
not gonna lie to you. If I'm
And
one of these thoughts,
Get paid for the next.
if I'm
18
one of
years.
these thoughts that's just out here, I will let Future have sex with me raw too.
No. Why would you? No, but
All
here's
right,
the thing.
we know
When
what
you're
clip we're
pregnant-
using for the IG this
See
week.
where he's coming. But the thing is, no.
If I'm a thought, then I ain't got nothing going on.
A man would say that, but the thing is, getting pregnant
Y'all
is
keep
not the
saying,
worst
"If I'm
thing
a
that can
thought."
happen. There's so much worse things that can happen other
Hey,
than
look,
getting
man, I'm
pregnant.
trying to get Halle Berry pregnant.
But
Like,
now here
cool.
you are splitting up, like you have to like take the child support you're getting and divide it amongst an army.
No, she's not
kids.
dividing that child support.
Right.
It's gonna be paid separately.
And one thing that I learned recently, which is also pretty baffling. So you know, if you're a dude and say you owe child support, right, and you get married, if you don't have a job, your spouse or your wife has to pay child
Yeah,
support.
What you thought? It's a union. What you thought?
You know what? That's
And that's wild.
That's why me, Sean, and Jamal all get along so well because at this point in our lives, none of us have any of those problems. And that's 3 decades in almost. That's a big win.
Doing great. I was gonna say only like 2 more of these to go.
Exactly. Hey, ladies,
Like,
2
where's
of us
the
are
wood?
single. We good too. Like, but while we still got some other things to come across, men who are in trouble. Not a shout out to Kareem.
Another
Hunt.
hour of that, real quick.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt, dog. Like,
What the
Ah,
fuck,
that
bro?
video.
you an idiot. Bro.
Hold on, can I?
Wait, but what
Before
was
we
the
jump into
pretense
this
for
though,
that?
because I had a feeling about this. Like, you guys saw that 6ix9ine had Bobby Shmurda on his album.
Mhm.
And it was like at no point did they have a conversation like Bobby Shmurda's like, yo, you're doing all the exact same things I did. And that look where I am.
You don't wanna
And
try to-
like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Wait, you just reminded me we haven't touched.
Wait, no, my
yet.
bad, my bad,
Oh
but-
my god.
But that's how I felt about the Kareem Hunt shit. Like, bro, you didn't see Ray Rice like 2 years ago do the same shit?
In
What
a
the fuck is
hotel?
wrong with
You're
you?
an
Like,
idiot.
not only is it a terrible thing to do, but how fucking stupid are you just as
Yeah,
a
he's
There are
person?
cameras
man? Like,
everywhere. Like just assume there are
yeah,
cameras
bro.
everywhere.
Like, you shouldn't
He's
be.
the
There's
worst,
no way you should ever put a hands on one. But at the same
He's the
time, like
worst.
you're a fucking NFL player. You have no sense. Like you're a multimillionaire.
It's interesting to me though, like the things that take people down, right? Like it's because you're an NFL player, right? You
Already strong.
I mean, ugly or not, you can find you another woman to talk to, sleep with, be around. Like
But I don't think- but that's-
they're available.
But there's a little difference in there because they were talking about how it
Does
was
he have a
originally.
tie to this woman?
Originally, it was believed that she was just basically some IG thought or some
Right.
hoe that was trying to come be around people with money.
Right.
And she came in there and he was like, nah, you ain't just going to be here with me. You got to smash the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, no. Allegedly, she called him a nigga.
Oh,
And that's what set him off.
is that what happened?
Allegedly. My thing is, I had this conversation in a group chat with a couple of friends. And we were talking about 2 things. The first thing is, one, you have to be able to have the self-control when you're in that space. First, as a man, period. So first, as a man, period. Second, as a man who's worth millions,
Right.
not to smack a woman.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to touch a woman, period.
Right.
Period.
First, muff, push,
Right.
knock somebody into her, whatever you do,
Right.
you ain't supposed to do that
Shake.
shit.
Right.
None of that. That's the first thing. Second, you got to understand who you are, and the target that's on you is going to try to force you to do those things.
And you should have people around you who know that and value
That's
that
the other
too.
part we said. So let's say, someone put it in our chat is like example of us. They was like, he also didn't have good people around him.
Mm-hmm.
And I threw a rebuttal into that, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that shortly. In the sense of, if they put it like this, they said, for lack of purposes of all of this, Sean is our most famous friend in this group chat.
Right.
If Sean is going nuts on some chick, we're going to keep Sean away from this chick. Or
Right.
we're going to keep the chick away from Sean. Whatever
Right.
the case may be, we don't know what's going to happen. He's our quote unquote celebrity / money maker.
Right.
Let's keep this nigga away.
Right. That's our only job.
That's
here.
our job. Keep
Yeah.
him away.
Right.
But then they're probably mad because they wanted to smash.
But then
and
that's what you got,
get to.
that's why I'm saying you got to know who you're keeping around you.
Yeah.
Because if I'm here and I'm your meal ticket, you got to make sure that you can still eat. Because now ain't none of us eating.
Yeah.
because I don't
Wait, so
have
what
a
were the
job.
repercussions?
But then with
of
that
this?
said, the second thing, when you look at this video, there is one guy who it
There's a
clicked
guy
real late.
That's what I was looking at.
It clicks real late that he thought about it like, yo, this our meal ticket. And he went trying to snatch camera phones. But
Oh,
what's the repercussions for him?
Are you talking about this guy?
No, you'll see it.
These
You saying what's the
guys,
repercussion for Kareem Hunt?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have a job anymore.
Oh, they fired him?
Yeah, they released him.
He's like,
He's suspended. He can't play. He can't sign with another team.
yeah, he's like on
He's
a,
released. He's on the.
he's probably gonna get suspended for 6 games.
Well, no.
He doesn't play for the Kansas City Chiefs anymore.
That too.
He's been cut.
But
Did they
he's-
cut him from this?
Yeah, they cut him.
All right, so that's wild, right?
Wow.
Because like I think
gone.
I think that actually is a testament to like the year we've had and this Me Too movement.
so
It's
why
like there's
is
a lot
there
of
only one
downsides to all that
person
shit.
holding him
But the upside
There's
is like
a
when you
few.
look at it in terms of just like when there's a lot of stuff around Ray Rice about them not handling it at the right time and like timeliness with shit. Bro, they got his ass the fuck out of here. He's one of the best players, one of the best teams going to
Yeah.
the, like probably playing in the Super Bowl this year. And they say they didn't even hesitate to cut his ass. That's
You know, it's crazy.
impressive.
Yeah,
Like,
he's-
For what it's
it
worth,
says a lot about the organization and shit.
It says a lot about it, but then I'm sorry to like segue it, but if they can cut somebody, how long ago? This was hours, maybe yesterday
It,
or
hap-
so.
it came
happened
online
like-
around 2:00. He was cut by 7.
Right. So where is that sort of initiative and urgency with these police brutality killings?
Oh, well,
Like, where's
word.
that
Yeah,
urgency?
no, word, 100%. I'm talking about the NFL.
But
I
within
know.
that-
I just saw the comparison. Like,
but
hold up,
within
wait.
that, there's
That was such a quick turnaround.
but there's
to
a different
decide
type of
someone's career.
measurement with that. You can't like
There's no court.
there's no
Yeah.
court. Yeah, like there, it's like working for a job and working for the government.
NFL can't take any more L's.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So it's like you got to get him out of there. But in the defense of the Friends, it looks like they are trying their best, and he is
But no
overpowering.
one.
But
But
it's
the thing is,
got that far.
but here's the thing: the girl, she kept coming back from what I saw,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she only had one friend just like lightly tapping her on the shoulder, like sister.
Oh no, no, no! It's
But no,
No,
one
you
of
gotta
those men,
understand.
one of those men needed to grab her and
But I'ma
pull
tell
her
you-
little small
But
booty
I'm gonna
back.
tell you about that with the women. Of the Jay-Z got a song called "Sisters and Bitches." What is it? Bitches and sisters, women and bitches. What is it, Jay? I mean,
Whoa.
it's sisters and bitches, women and bitches.
think
It's sister and bitches.
Okay,
I
one
think
of
it's
those.
sisters
It's
and
sisters
bitches.
One of them. Let's just
where
go with
he
one of 'em.
gives the idea of what he's encountered in rap.
Right.
As in, sisters are the ones who you will come across, and they have their shit together. They're not looking for you to be your meal ticket.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest line on there: sisters drive cars, bitches want to ride.
right, right.
That's the same type of thing
That's
that's,
so
here.
real.
It's the same type of thing that's here.
Jake's
those
awakened.
those women were there originally for the clout
Mm-hmm.
and the money, and they're still there for the clout and money throughout even the ordeal. That's not taking away from what he did because he's wrong as fuck.
Right.
But when they got you in that predicament, now the camera phone came out immediately.
Yeah.
Not let me get my
Yeah.
girl away from getting her ass beat. Let me record my girl getting her ass.
This has
beat.
always
Yeah.
been my. This
It's
has
like
always
that,
been my. This has always been my stance on these situations. Not only like domestic violence situations, but also like sexual assault, all of that. Guys have to correct their behavior. There's a full sort of guys historically have not been scrutinized the way women have, right? As far as their behavior in these situations. But my family has always told me, like, look, guys have to correct their behavior, but that does not change the fact that women have to make sure that they are making good choices. It's important, and I think you can say that without like victim blaming. I think it's important to know that like if I have a little girl and she goes to college, I'm gonna tell her, don't walk home by yourself. If you are with your friends out, they should not leave you at whoever's house or whatever.
Right,
Like
should be
these are
good.
these are all things, in my opinion, that are also important just so you can protect yourself. It's the same thing, in my opinion, with like you're dealing with police, and when they show up, you keep your hands on the steering
Or
wheel.
escalating situations.
Yeah, like there's just there's certain things that like I think you have to be responsible just for yourself because it's important that you don't get hurt. So it's important that like you are not putting yourself in a bad situation. Now, it's up to like behave in a way that is reasonable, but you can't trust every guy. And I think because of that, there are certain little safeguards you should have for yourself. And I think one of those is like This nigga is obviously out of control. Don't rush him because it could literally get you hurt.
But then that's when we go
Very
back to
badly.
these women. She rushed him because she
women.
know what's going on.
She knew she was being recorded.
Mm.
But one
Like
thing
I
that
said.
I've always learned, or my parents have always told me, like, so pick your battles.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this one for her could come with the money bag
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
But as far as like escalating situations, and then also escalating, de-escalating situations,
Mm-hmm.
but then also from the like sense of antagonizing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes you could like you could clearly tell she was shouting, yelling back. You say she dropped some N-bombs or something.
That's just a report.
So,
I don't know.
it's a
Yeah.
report, but she
That's
was
what-
definitely antagonizing
that's what-
and
Right.
escalating.
Yeah.
Kareem
And now
Hunt's
here you
friends
are getting
told
kicked in the
police.
face.
Yeah.
So it's just
yeah.
whether or not, like, regardless to if you get money or clout or interviews or
Right,
anything,
right,
appearances
right.
from this, you're
Right.
still walking around with a potentially fractured skull because it's a big ass
Yeah.
NFL player who
yeah,
just
yeah.
kicks you.
But I'm
Yeah.
telling y'all this right now, though. If I am me right now, and I kicked it with a girl, and her friends was kicking it with the homies, and something ain't go right,
Mhm.
she felt like somebody disrespected her, whatever the case may be, she can stand there and call me whatever type of nigga, bitch, hoe, whatever the fuck she gonna say. I'm gonna just look at her like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely not
Yeah.
kicking her in the head while she's
I'm not
Yeah.
kicking her. I'm
I
not
should
kicking her.
say-
down. Watch
not
it
kicking a
down.
dude in the
though,
head
I
like
should
that.
say though, like all of these, almost always in these situations, they are under the influence of something.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that like as soon as you wake up the next day, you're like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is like alcohol doesn't change your personality. Like if you messing around and fighting women, even if you drunk,
You doing that shit sober.
that's what or at the very least you don't feel about it the way I do.
People
you know what
really
I'm
gotta
saying?
come to a
Like
point where-
I can't get that drunk. There
People
is no
gotta- yeah.
drunk to where I put
Yeah.
my hands on a woman.
No, people
And
gotta come
that's
to a point where they realize
how it
alcohol is
is.
not an excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, we're gonna
Dang.
separate away from that. In positive Kareem Hunt news, when he got dropped from his team, I picked up Spencer Ware just in time for fantasy
In
football
fantasy
playoffs.
news.
It's fucking lit.
In fantasy news.
So thank you, Kareem Hunt, but not thank you, not at all,
Bro, shout out to yo bitches and sisters reference.
But it was
by
accurate, right?
Jay-Z.
Like,
That
it
is a
was- was.
That's the best way you
fantastic
can look at
song.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
And that line is like
sister drive cars, bitches want to ride.
that is
There's a difference in quality of persons.
perfect.
And
Yeah.
and not
That's
even
not
trying
just
to,
women.
Yeah, I was just about to
Not
say that.
just
Not even
women.
trying to make it to be like women. Men drive cars, niggas want to ride.
Right.
Like it's the same
Right.
thing across the board.
Same thing.
It's just a trash ass individual. But even though it's a trash ass individual, you
Mm-hmm.
still not supposed to hit the trash ass individual.
Right.
True.
So it's Kareem Hunt. I don't feel sorry for you. You got the fuck out of here. We'll probably have to wrap up soon, but before we do that, let's look at a couple other quick things. One of which is, hey Jamal,
What up?
did you get the invite? I know you famous and shit. Actually, it should be for you because they were targeting beautiful socialites like yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're asking me if I was invited somewhere, and what if I wasn't?
Did you get invited to what they call it, Palesi? How did they pronounce it, Jamal? Palesi? Long story short.
Oh, the Payless
the
shit?
Payless store
Oh.
that was not really a
And people
a
were
luxury
dropping
dealer.
bags.
They was paying $600 for $20 Payless heels. I got a question.
I
Portia.
want my money
Would you
back.
buy Payless heels?
When I was a kid, we would go and get
But
stuff
right
from
now at
Payless.
age 27, would
I
you buy
haven't-
Payless
I
heels?
haven't been in Payless
Why not?
in years.
Why not?
I don't know, because I find my stuff at other places.
Look at that. It
But
made
would you-
Payless look
But
like
would you go in Payless?
Dior or somebody.
I mean, I would rather go somewhere else.
Why?
I don't know, because I know other places that I know their styles. I know that
But
they
what
have
if
what
they
I
have
like.
the exact same style and what you like at Payless? You
I
don't
mean,
know.
I
what's
wouldn't
in
know unless I
Payless.
went there.
Well, how about
Yeah.
you go?
Well, the
see?
thing is, if they were to do a test of like, okay, well, here's two different same shoe, which one do you like the most? But this one's at a cheaper price. Of course, I'm gonna go with the one that's more affordable, less expensive.
I want to give a.
But I don't even know what Payless's style
huge-
is.
And I
But
ain't
that
gonna lie
was an
though.
amazing marketing tactic.
I want to give a huge shout out to whoever handles marketing for Payless because
Yeah.
if you like, I mean, they do this with like the burgers and stuff. Like when they're like, oh, you're actually eating a.
Or Tide
Yeah,
commercials.
it's like you're actually eating a Burger King, McRib or whatever. Like, I feel like, but to do it with shoes,
That's different.
I feel like that's different because
Yeah.
everybody can tell you something tastes good, but if you walk in, see the product, and you can't recognize that it's made by Payless, then
Yeah. Because there's
That's
a
a win
quality
for
in there's a
Payless.
quality in heels. You do not want to be walking on heels and it breaks. So like you get what you pay
Exactly.
for. So you want to invest in something that's actually durable, sustainable, and nice.
Interesting.
But yeah, so what about you all? Would you go to Payless?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Payless?
I wouldn't buy sneakers from Payless.
So here's my thing about
Yeah,
guys'
probably
shoes.
not gym shoes.
Guys' shoes versus women's shoes, and I could be wrong.
Okay.
I think if you got on a pair of Skechers, like as a guy, everybody gonna know. If you got on a pair of these Paylessy joints and they nice looking heels, like can't nobody tell. Like that's
No,
the
you
difference. Like heels don't
actually-
heels are not as tied to at least like now I'm sure there are like, you know, examples like red bottoms or whatever. But for the most part, a nice heel is a nice heel,
I just
right?
got on
like,
now and I said, oh, them shits look like I seen them in Macy's before.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like look at this.
A nice heel is just a nice heel. It's not like you
Yeah.
but a Nike check or a Skechers S
It's different for guys. You're
is
right.
yeah, I just feel like it's a little different. Now when you start talking about some of the, you know, dress shoes and all, totally different. But
So I wonder, do these people get their money back?
No, they're fucked out of luck.
It's technically its own
pay for
story.
that
You're
shit.
right.
Like,
It's technically its own story.
You good?
Oh
I
wow,
mean, hey,
that's dope.
It is.
shout out to Paylessy.
Couple quick things I want to run through before we get out of here. Number one,
Oh, it's
have you
12:45.
seen either of you have either of you seen Creed 2 yet?
I did.
I have.
I went and saw that shit.
I
last night.
have.
That shit
It
amazing.
was so motivating. Like
That
the
shit was great.
workouts in there, the neck routines.
I ain't gonna lie. I
It was
almost,
inspiring. I went to the
I
gym.
literally almost dropped a
Crudessa.
thug tier in the last fight. It was,
You
it
did
was really-
what?
I almost dropped a thug tier. Like it was
Really?
really good.
See,
Can
I
I-
haven't seen any of the Rockies, so.
But with that
I was just a
said,
little
Michael B. Jordan
offset
You
from
don't
that.
need
shit.
it. I don't think you need it.
What?
Michael B. Jordan can't act, bro.
He's fine as
No,
hell though.
but that doesn't affect him acting. Like
Sorry.
Beyonce, fine, but I ain't trying to go watch Obsessed again.
I keep seeing that movie she was in with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, the
Fighting
choir
Temptations?
one.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
on like the TV, like it'll like float by, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
man, it's crazy to think that at some point, it like Cuba Gooding Jr. is doing Beyonce a favor.
Yeah. Yeah. This is all true.
I've been holding that in for weeks.
This
I
is
need-
But I
all
heard
true.
he's actually a little tweaked out right now.
I think so. I really enjoyed Creed 2,
Mhm.
but Creed is a much better movie. Like the first one
Yeah.
is a much better movie.
I
Like
can
the
roll.
story and
I
all.
didn't see the first
Like
one all the way
that
out.
moment. So I watched. So Creed came on television like the day after I saw Creed 2, and so I watched some of it. That moment where they do basically the Rocky running up the stairs scene, but they do it in Philly with the motorcycles and all that.
That was fire.
That is one of the best like
Yeah.
movie moments of that year,
Yeah, true.
and definitely in like as far as sports movies are concerned, like that was amazing.
I kept thinking of Meek Mill. Oh, and Meek Mill was actually
Yeah,
playing.
Meek Mill's playing. And then there's a
His track
scene
was
at the
on it.
end of the movie where Rocky's trying to take him out, and he says to Rocky, "I have to prove I'm not a mistake." That is a huge, like that is, it's a very, like it's a culminating moment. It really gets the job done. Like Creed is a great movie. It's a fantastic movie. Creed 2 is good. Creed is
I haven't seen
great.
Creed 1.
That's an enthusiastic
Endorsement.
thumbs
Can I
up
tell you,
Hey,
from my
man.
man Jamal Andrews.
Can I
Good
give you my
movie.
one gripe about Creed 2?
Yes.
Beyond Michael B. Jordan's acting.
It don't matter.
For that, for that film to be good, and for the time, and for the character to be based from Philly, and for
Whose character?
well, for Michael B. He was in
Michael
Philly.
B. Jordan is
No, he's
from,
He's from
Cali.
California,
Yeah,
but, like,
okay.
but like when he did his training and everything, it was in Philly. And when this one started, it was in Philly.
Right.
And for him to have the anthems and the moments that he's having right now, it was a strong oversight not to have a single Meek Mill record
in Creed
in the
2.
score of this movie.
Yeah.
They did.
Nah.
Yes,
there was
they
no-
did when he was running with all the
You
biker
guys,
boys.
you guys,
There was
No,
Two
that's
minutes.
Creed. That's the
That's
first
Creed 1.
Creed. We're talking about Creed 2.
There was no Meek in,
Okay.
in
There's
Creed
no
2.
Meek in that one.
Oh, I gotta go
Especially
back
if you
and watch
listen
this.
to what is the song that he got?
Is he not on the
At the same time though, at the
He's
same
not
time
on
though,
the
I
soundtrack
kind of
He's
like
not
the
on
fact
the soundtrack either.
Nope.
I kind of like the fact that they preempted it like on the first one, and then when it was like a thing, they were like, "No, it's cool. We already did that."
Yeah, that could be it too. Like we don't want to
But
do it.
That's fair.
again.
Boy, where was it? Where
But
was
then maybe find another up and coming Philly artist.
it? The last thing before we get out of here is rest in peace to George Herbert Walker Bush.
Yeah, somebody tweeted something that made me think. It was like, man, when did black people start rocking with the Bush family?
I should.
When we realized that they're much better than the Trumps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I should
basically.
say.
Let's keep it a buck.
I should say, man, like there's been a change in like conservatism. I mean, liberalism too, honestly. But like, I think Republicans in particular have gone extraordinarily far to the right, and I think the reason that people are starting to rock with the Bush family is because they were, at the very least, willing to compromise on some things. If you ever want to see something that's like semi-inspiring, it just makes you feel a lot better about what politics used to be. Is if you go watch the speech that George Bush gave about Islam and about people who are Muslim shortly after the 9/11 attacks. He made it a point to not blame that religion and that group of people.
That's the same as whatchamacallit.
We do have to remember, though, that their father, George Prescott Bush, was one of the biggest financiers of the Nazis, and also started Skull and Bones in the CIA, which has been pointed at for some of the worst atrocities in the country and the world. And on top of that, George H.W. Bush was never elected to any public office until he won president. He was appointed to everything. So he's kind of a...
that's a little debatable.
Bush is... No, it's not.
Yes, he was, because he was vice president before. And he also held
another
office.
He was directly elected to... He was appointed CIA director, head of the CIA, shit like that.
But then he was elected to 2 other positions too, though.
No,
Wait,
he's
let's
appointed.
get out the weeds.
But I guess
but even with that still though, but
that's why like the whole
no, I
Bush is
get
getting
that.
painted a good picture sometimes. Like,
But
it's great, but still,
Well,
let's not
in
forget who they are.
today's
Yeah.
political climate is basically set up where it's not even about your political views, because you can agree to disagree with somebody's views based on their class background, however they came up, right? But when we get to the point, of the debate of just morale. And character and just morale and just doing what is humanly right, I think that's the state of the culture that we're in right now for politics. So yes, the Bushes, we might have disagreed with the way he handled Hurricane Katrina or the way he handled other initiatives, right?
Right.
But you can't sit here and say that he was a terrible person like the president we have right now.
I think we could talk about this later.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to close this off, what I did want to say, for Bush, beyond like his father and all of the other pieces, is that he has shown some progressive things to actually helping the communities, not specifically just basing it and rooting it within his structure of political stances, but also being able to conform and understand that some type of progressive nature is needed, in addition to how he was also open to adopting and listening to some of the things of Barack Obama. Beyond that as well, I feel like everyone who in some way served this country in the armed forces deserves some type of recognition of a RIP.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And that for a majority of people, period, they deserve some well wishes of a send-off to your death.
Yeah, so definitely rest in
Beyond
paradise.
Donald Trump. If you die, fuck you and all. All right, with that said,
on
this is
that
the piece.
Yeah, so maybe we'll be back next Saturday.
Yes, I'll be here.
Okay, I won't be here the Saturday after that, but
Gotcha.
but yeah,
We'll make sure everyone plans out
around me.
Viewers,
Yeah. All right, but yeah. So
Gotta talk to the
also,
viewers.
wait, Sean,
Go.
the toy drive wish list,
Yeah,
Amazon.
the Amazon wish list. I was so unprepared to drop this off. The Amazon wish list is available. I will throw the link in my bio so you guys can see it. Sean X Grant on Instagram.
All right, go check them out. I will retweet it at Portia King Media.
I'll retweet it too. At Jamal
and
Andrews.
we'll have it at Mild Toss as well.
Yeah. So happy holidays, and we'll catch you all next.